to take a little video history of the bout between those guys.
In bad shape. As now the referee being abused. It's got to the point where I believe I see the stand lane is busted open by the bone. Steve Kern is too. I know.
We're 7.5 minutes into the action, and Steve Kern, who really has been waiting to get in there, going at it.
Well, let me tell you, Monday night, all the bouts that have gone in the past will be behind them. It's all going down Monday night because it's a no-time, no disqualification Southern Tag Championship, and the loser leaves town.
You know, every time the Fabulous Ones have gotten in the ring with the Moondogs, there's nothing but blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm going to tell you something. We don't look forward to getting in the ring with these guys, and this is going to be the last time. This is going to be like the last tango in Memphis, because we're not going to get in the ring with them again. This will be the last match. Not only will it be the last match, it'll be the last appearance of the Moondogs in this area, because one thing we're going to do is we're going to beat them right in the middle of the ring for the loser leave town, and they're going to be gone. We're sick of having to get in there, fight for our lives every time we get in with the Moondogs. This is the last chance. Jimmy Hart, you better fire them boys up, because we plan on being here after this week.
Well, of course, not only the titles, but even bigger than that, Stan. If you don't beat them, it means bye-bye to the Fabs. We're here.
Lance, you got to give the devil his due. I'm going to say right now in front of all these people and the millions of people that are watching right now, those guys are probably the toughest team that we've ever faced. They're not the greatest wrestlers. They wouldn't win any awards on wrestling ability. But when you get them in a squared circle, and you've got things around the ring like chairs, boards, tables, all kinds of stuff that they'll use, they are tough. There's no doubt about that. And Steve and I have gone through about 6 or 7 months of hell every time we stepped in the ring with the Moondogs. Like Steve said, Monday night is the big one. It's going to be Armageddon. I don't know if they're going to carry some of us out or all of us out, but one thing is for certain. We don't want to leave here. The winner will be staying here, and the winner will have the Southern straps around their waist. There's a lot at stake Monday night. Somebody's going to get hurt. I hope it's not Steve and I. We're planning on staying here for a long time, Lance. We love all the people here. They support us through thick and thin. And Moondogs, pack your dog houses up. You're leaving town.
I got it. Good luck to you guys. I'll miss you if you get long. And I don't want to be lonely around here, so be ready, will you? Stan and Steve, the Fabulous Ones, in a loser leave town match with the International Roughnecks. Believe me, that is going to be some kind of a conflict. It'll be hard. The International Roughnecks, the Moondogs.
Well, listen, look at those signs. Don't bother me at all, baby. You know what, Russell? This is going to be the greatest day of my life. I feel so good. Can you imagine? You know what? The Fabulous Ones seem a little scared out here. Did you listen to them a while ago? Did you hear Stan Lane going, you know, we love the people. Hey, we love the people too, don't we, Moondogs? We love the people. Let me tell you something, baby. An era in professional wrestling is over right here in Memphis, Tennessee. You know, the Fabulous Ones came on the scene, and everybody was so excited. They brought all their little videotapes and riding in the big shiny cars and their motorcycles. But you see, guys, that don't win matches. You know what? In my heart, I really hate to see these guys leave, because they've made Jimmy Hart and the Moondogs a pocket full of money, baby, because all these stupid people over here came to see the Fabulous Ones try to whip the Moondogs, but they just couldn't get the job done.
Oh, you're
now,
Jim.
We've got a match. Like I said, it is over. The era is over of the Fabulous Ones. The match. Can you believe it? A dream come true for me. The greatest night of my life.
No time,
no disqualification.
Loser leave.
Loser leave town, but also the winner gets the Southern Heavyweight Championship belts, right or wrong.
On the line.
Like I said, Fabulous Ones, you know, they seemed a little scared. Didn't they act nervous to you?
Well, now, you're just imagining.
No, I'm not imagining anything. You're imagining it. Let me tell you something right now, Fabs. Please, please bring Jackie Fargo with you, because after we defeat you, I don't want Eddie Marlin calling me on the phone making excuses like, will you give them one more shot, because it won't be any more shot, right or wrong. It's over. Loser leave town, you are gone. Like I said, an era is over. The Moondogs and Jimmy Hart will be the new sex symbols in professional wrestling over here, baby.
Really?
Come on, Moondogs.
Jimmy Hart, the International Roughnecks, the Moondogs. Don't wave goodbye to him prematurely. Robert, how you doing, partner? The Rock and Roll Express, Rick. Good to see you. We were just sitting here looking at the tape of the World Tag Champions in action in there, and they're pretty impressive, no doubt about it. Before we get talking with you guys, about the bout coming up Monday night. I'd like for you to listen to what the World Tag Champions had to say about this bout coming up Monday night.
Memphis, get ready. Big AWA World Tag Team Championship match coming up between the tag team champions, Ken Patera and Jerry Blackwell, against none other than the Rock and Roll Express.
You know, I threw out a lot of challenges, and the first one was to Jerry Lawler for a partner of his choosing. And he couldn't find a partner because he's scared to death of Jerry Blackwell and Ken Patera. And then I threw out another challenge for the Fabulous Ones. They backed out. And the only team that had the guts to follow up on the challenge was the Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton. Well, boys, the Rock and Roll Express is going to be derailed once and for all. I'd like to introduce at this time Sheikh Adnan El-Casey from Baghdad, Iraq, the man that made it all possible for Jerry Blackwell and myself to become the AWA World Tag Team.
أهلاً وسهلاً بك أيها الأخ العزيز. You know, Mr. Ken Resnick, the Arab people had invested $1 billion in America and around the world. And that was some type of investment. But this investment here for the tag team champion of the world, no money, no oil in the world could replace it. The tag team championship of the world, and 800 million Arab people are proud of His Highness and Sir Lawrence. And I am so proud of myself and 800 million Arab in the world. لا إله إلا الله محمدا عبده ورسوله إن البطل العربي عدنان القيسي. And all it means, Masari, my man.
470-pound Jerry Blackwell.
Well, let me tell you something. Everybody in Memphis knows me, and they know my partner very well. And we're coming down there giving the Rock and Roll Express a privilege to get in the ring with two that's on the very top of the heap. When you become the AWA World Tag Team Champions, you're the best in the world, bar none. And when we walk all over y'all boys, y'all gonna realize, y'all gonna say, they are the best in the world. And then, Lawler, if you can get a partner, if you got any guts, maybe you'll get in the ring.
Memphis, get ready. The Rock and Roll Express against the heavyweight tag team champions of the world.
And I've seen guys before that took the Rock and Roll Express a little too lightly, and that may be what's happening with the world champion, fellas.
Last, you understand anything of that?
Not very little.
Let me tell you. You know, these guys here may be big and they may be bad, and I got to say they are the world's tag team champions. But, brother, one thing that we lack, we got speed and we got agility. And when we step in that ring, I'm going to tell you, in Memphis, Tennessee, these guys are going to have one of the biggest surprises you ever seen in your life. But, baby, we're going in there, and we're going to win, baby. We're tired of being down on the ground. The Rock and Roll Express is coming for one thing, brother. That's to put those world titles around our waist.
You know that the fans will love it, Robert, so good luck to you out there Monday.
Well, appreciate it, Lance. I hope they come out there and just think we're underdogs. We're going to go out there and do one thing, so we're going to pin their shoulders to the mat.
The R&R, there they are, Rick and Robert. Boy, I can tell you this, they have surprised a lot of teams that took them a little lightly. Let's take a look at the action coming up completely down at the Coliseum. Night of Champions is absolutely correct. The starting time is 7:30. And will you also note that the ticket prices, even though it is a full Night of Champions, 4, 5, and 6, the regular prices for the action coming up at the Coliseum Monday night. The opening bout, Terry Gibbs will be going against Mr. Ebony. Then there's a most interesting bout we'll be looking at, and that's the Bruise Brothers will be facing the A-Team. That's going to be something. Then the Zambui Express. You'll have your first look at them right here in just a few moments. They'll be going against Art Cruz and Jerry Gray. King Konga will be having the test of Stagger Lee that he's going to have to face. Hey, here's a match you got to be there to see. This is a Mid-America title match with no disqualification. And rough and tough, wild Macho Man Randy Savage is going to have to face one more time a guy that he knows all too well, Dutch Mantell. But note, there is no disqualification because the suspect nature of it last week was that Savage with Angelo Popo looked like he may well have gotten automatic or intentionally disqualified. All right, then there will be an international heavyweight title match when Austin Idol faces Sabu, the Wild Man. Now, the only thing I want to point out here is after the mess that Austin Idol made of Jimmy Hart and his clothes, last week. They are going for a back alley street brawl rule. That's where everybody comes in their clothes, and the idea is that one guy walks out without his clothes on. That's Idol and Sabu. A Southern heavyweight title match when the killer, Karl Krupp, will be bringing that big claw in, trying to take the title away from Jerry the King Lawler. Then an AWA World Tag title, our first look at Ken Patera, the world's strongest wrestler, and his partner, Crusher Blackwell, facing the exciting Rock and Roll Express. And the final bout of the night, yeah, that's right, plenty of action still to go. The Southern Tag Team titles on the line. No time, no disqualification. And please note, it will be the loser of this match leaving town when the International Roughnecks, the Moondogs, go against the Southern Tag Champs, Stan and Steve, the Fabulous Ones. All of it coming up Monday night. 7:30 is the time. No increase in price. The regular prices prevail. We hope maybe you'll bring it right on down. Will coming back in, Jimmy Hart. He's got plenty of activity coming up Monday night, and I'm certain we'll be hearing from it. Yes, Jimmy Hart.
First of all, I want Eddie Marlin to come out here right now because I want to knock his false teeth out of his mouth. You know, what's he trying to do? You know, he had my Bruise Brothers against the Grapplers, and
yes,
now he's got the A-Team against the Bruise Brothers. You know, he's trying, let me tell you something. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to destroy the family, but it's not going to work this time. I am telling you, baby. You're going to see a clean, scientific match, and I promise you this time, Russell, I'd like to hit that old man one time. I promise you this. He's in my hair. He's driving me crazy. But let me just say this. Let me settle down for a second. I just returned from Hollywood, California this morning. You see this right here. If I'm lying, I am dying, baby. Universal Studios. Get a close-up of this. Where I went out there to see my good friend, killer Karl Krupp. Get a shot of this body, baby. Get a shot of it now. He was doing a little picture out there, and I said, Killer, I need you. I need you here. He said, what's the mission? And I said, you need to get rid of Jerry Lawler for me, and I want the Southern Belt. And, baby, here he is right now.
Hart, I thank you for the opportunity to one more time apply the German claw to Mr. Jerry Lawler, sir. And I am deeply grateful that the opportunity has once more presented itself. Mr. Lawler, you remember the claw, and I will be the new Southern heavyweight champion, Mr. Lawler. It will be it. It will be. That's what it was.
Ooh, see, I told you before.
European champ,
That's
Karl
right,
Krupp.
baby. They all come back to me sooner or later. But now, Austin Idol. You know what happened to me last week? I was humiliated. I was embarrassed. You know, in this little sack right here is what's left of my $650 tuxedo where I was stripped and humiliated in the middle of, I could have been arrested for indecent exposure after Austin Idol took all of my clothes off of me. And you're laughing about it. Don't laugh at me. Well, let me tell you. You shut up over there. I don't want to hear it. Let me tell you something, baby. Sabu. The wild man, Sabu, is going to have a back alley street brawl. Am I right or wrong?
That's exactly right, with Austin Idol.
And he's going to be fully dressed, Austin Idol, fully dressed, this man right here. But we're going to humiliate you before we beat you because, you see, it's also an international championship match.
Right.
Am I right or wrong? But he's going to come fully dressed just like you, Austin, and we're going to strip all of your clothes. You know, Austin thinks he's so cool. You know, he takes pride in that big upper body when he comes out with all those muscles. Well, let's see if you take pride in your lower body, baby, after we strip you off in the nude right there in the middle of that ring, baby. But this is Sabu, and we're going to do one thing to you, right, Sabu? We're going to hit him. We're going to hit him. We're going to beat him with everything we can do. You understand that? And I will humiliate you like you did me. Killer Karl Krupp. The Moondogs, Sabu, it's going to be the greatest night of our life, and I promise you that. Come on, Dad.
Oh, Jimmy Hart about to have himself a little heart attack right there over all the activity. But that's just a part of the Night of Champions that'll be taking place at the Coliseum Monday night. Sabu, Killer Karl Krupp in action. We're going to take time out, and we'll be back in just one moment. Look at some of the highlights of it right now. Bockwinkel on Lawler with a sleeper hold. Dumps Bockwinkel on top of the referee. Lawler showing just how dead game he is. Look at him with his left hand. 2 more, 3. And Calhoun is hurt. Referee Paul Morton coming up to help him. All 244 of Bockwinkel fell right on the referee. Lawler pounding despite the pain with that right hand. Here comes Jimmy Hart. Paul Morton tackles him as he was coming into the ring. Once again, Bockwinkel with a sleeper. Lawler shakes him off. He shook him off, and now he's got Bockwinkel. Hart fighting with referee Paul Morton. He's suplexing back into the ring. Here's Austin Idol. 1, 2, 3. He got him.
Wait a minute, Mr. Morton. You're the referee. He was on this side of the ring. He was thrown over the top rope, and that stopped everything.
But I got the title back?
I'm going to hold the title
What
up.
do you mean you're going to hold it up? Hold it up for what? No way. There's no way for you to.
I'm holding it up. We're going to take it before the committee, and I've got a tape of the whole thing. He threw him over the top rope right there. And
You cannot. He cannot hold up the title. He cannot. I'm supposed to be the champion. I'm the champion.
What he's saying is true. I know what he's saying in there, but...
And it'll show up on the tape. It'll show up on the tape. The committee will look at it with me, but I saw him throw him over the top rope. You no longer have the title. It's being held up. Maybe you've got it, and maybe Mr. Lawler's got it, but it's being held up for the time being.
Yeah, that's exactly what the decision by Stanley Blackburn, who is the president of the AWA, he made the ruling, and of course the committee did in fact take a look at the tape. There he is, the king. He was certainly directly involved, and Jerry, I just knew that was it. You had him. You beat him right there in the middle of the ring.
Well, you know, it really gets disappointing after a while, because it seems like every time I wrestle Nick Bockwinkel, I come out here the following Saturday, and you're saying, and the fans think, and I feel like, that I beat Nick Bockwinkel, but I never have the belt.
Yeah.
And that is what is really discouraging and really disappointing. And, you know, this was just another time, another opportunity, and these opportunities don't come that often to get a world title shot. And it's another one that's gone by the wayside, because I did have the man beat. I did have him pinned, but then to lose, or not to lose, but to lose the belt on a technicality. You know, even though they held it up for the time being, then the word comes down yesterday that the championship committee viewed the film, and they decided that he was thrown over the top rope. It certainly wasn't intentional. All I know was he was on my back, had the sleeper hold on. I just tried to get him off the same way I did originally, suplexed him back in the ring, and pinned the man. But they say because he went over the top rope that, you know, it was a disqualification at that point. And so, you know, I'm standing here without the world heavyweight title again, is what it boils down to. And after that, I also, of course, asked for an immediate rematch. And now Nick Bockwinkel is apparently doing what he said he would do before. He's stalling. He's told Stanley Blackburn that he's going to take some time off. He needs a rest and all of this sort of garbage. So, you know, it may be quite a while before I get another shot at Nick Bockwinkel. In the meantime, though, you know, it's something that you could just, I could sit around and dwell on, or either I can try to go forward, and that's what I'm going to do.
Life goes on.
And I do still have the Southern Heavyweight title, of which, you know, if I don't forget about the world title, I may not have this very long, with people like Killer Karl Krupp back in the area. And you see, Jimmy Hart, I don't know where he found Killer Karl Krupp. He said he found him out in Hollywood. Did you people see how ugly Karl Krupp was? Well, he almost didn't make it here today, because on the way over, Hart was driving him over, and Krupp stuck his head out the window of the car, and he got arrested for mooning. Now, that's ugly. But anyway, I want Hart to realize, and I want Krupp to realize, that I have a score to settle with Killer Karl Krupp, because back when I had my leg broken, Killer Karl Krupp ran roughshod over everybody in the area, and I had an opportunity to make a comeback at that time. My leg, I was about 90% healed, and I foolishly at the time went in the ring with Krupp too soon.
Remember it
and
too
he
well.
did a number on my leg and put me back out for about another 3 months. Yep. Well, Krupp, I'll tell you what, brother, I don't forget. I'm just like an elephant. You see, I got a heck of a memory, brother, and I remember that ugly mug of yours, and I remember it sitting when I sit laid up with that broken leg, and I'm going to remember it when I get in that ring with you Monday night. And if you think for 1 minute with that little pea brain of yours that you're going to walk out of there with this Southern Heavyweight title around your waist, you got another think coming, jerk, because I'm going to do something that may seem impossible. I'm going to, with my fist, make you uglier than you are now, because I'm going to rearrange that face of yours, and I'm going to beat you to a pulp. And Hart, I want you to stick that nose of yours close to the ring because I got a little bit of this for you too, jerk, and I'll make you look just as ugly as them mugs you manage. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, Jerry, I think you hit a nerve, and the folks would like to see that done. Lawler and killer Karl Krupp for the Southern heavyweight bout. One of the Night of Champions with no increase in price. Dutch going right back at him into the rope. Shoulder puts Savage down. Dutch over the top. Good leapfrog. Whoa, he went up, and Mantell waited, nailed him when he... Hops that right hand. Watch out. Macho Man on the top turnbuckle. Drops down with both hands right on the neck. And the Dutchman fired in. Big clothesline. And winding up the stair steps of the turnbuckle. Savage from the top rope comes off and is caught with a right from the... Mantell fighting his way back. Dutch Mantell going with that atomic knee. Dutch's hat. Now, let me tell you, you can do a lot of things, but don't be smashing Dutch Mantell's favorite Western hat.
You wanted the Macho Man Randy Savage Mid-American Heavyweight Champions? Attention, Dutch Mantell. Well, you got it. You can thank me all you want for not having your head in the hat when I smashed it. Yeah, smashed your hat, Dutch Mantell. But it ain't gonna make any difference, Dutch Mantell, because you're in the danger zone now, yeah. You mess with the Macho Man, and that's different from messing with anybody else, Dutch Mantell. You obviously don't know me. You obviously don't have the certain respect that you should have for the Macho Man Randy Savage. But I'm going to teach you that respect, yeah. You're in the danger zone, Dutch Mantell. No time limit, no disqualification. Mid-American Heavyweight Championship belt on the line. Yeah, and that's what makes me pick. Dutch Mantell, you're in the danger zone. Monday night at Memphis, Tennessee. Gonna teach you some R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect for the Macho Man.
Savage, this week we got a no time limit, no disqualification match because that's the only way you won it last week. And I don't take kindly to people messing with my equipment or my property, and that's exactly what you did. Now, this is a hat I've had for several years right here, and I wear it on occasion. But you showed a total lack of respect, Savage, when you stomped it right in the mat. And I'm going to say one thing. Since you've laid your filthy, stinking hands and foot on it, I'll never wear this hat again, baby. That hat will go in the garbage can because I'm not going to touch it. But, Savage, I want you to bring Monday night, I want you to bring that big macho reputation. One more time is all I want. One more time you bring it into Memphis. And one thing also bring that Mid-America belt and bring that old, ancient, stinking old man of yours, baby. Bring him in there. And when I win that belt, I want you to take him and that old man and get in that old Mercedes that's about 150 years old and haul it out of town because I want you out of my hair and out of my life. I've held that belt before, and I fully intend to get it back. Savage, you show up Monday night because I'm going to come looking for you, and when I'm looking, I usually find somebody, and I'm going to find you Monday night, Macho. You show up. I'll be there, baby.
Well, I don't think it comes as any surprise when I tell you that Dutch Mantell has a habit of doing what he says he's going to do, and that's going to be interesting to see. One thing about it will be one whale of a bout. Two tough guys, Macho Man and the Dutchman.